And welcome back. Hooray! So we are on night 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, hooray! But this is strategy mode. This is where you put all your traps and all your planning and all your stuffs. You feel the presence of a werewolf, by God. These little cards are herd possession deals. They'll tell you what's gonna come from that spawn area, what their objective is. I think the game explains this. If you click on them, where they're going, yeah, it's just going to explain it right now, isn't it?
Omens.
Yep.
The Omen cards represent Josephine's visions, and they help you plan your defense for the coming night. This shows the type of enemy that will attack. Leaving your cursor over a card will show you a lot of information about that enemy type. This is the number of enemies that will attack from this area. The attacking order of the Omen cards depends on what wave they belong to. During the night, a new wave will not attack until the previous wave has been defeated. You can choose which waves you see on the map with the filters on the right side of the screen. The last icon on the card represents what their target is for the night. In this case, it's your house. If you click on a card, you'll see the enemy's path to their target. Plan your strategy with the help of these Omen cards.
Well, there you go. I told her to explain it. Set traps. Okay, yeah, that was the general idea. Again, this is part of the tutorial, so it's going to tell you to do things. I'm supposed to put it over there, you dangus. Over there. There we go. To be honest, I wouldn't put the trap right there, but whatever. Tutorial. I'm actually going to leave the trap movies out. It's a wolf trap. It's basically a bear trap, for all intents and purposes. The traps are mostly self-explanatory. For instance, a hanging net. In fact, I could read it. Must be hung from nearby trees, triggered by shooting with a rifle. Hooray! So we put it right there, we can shoot it, and it'll trap things under them with rocks. As you do, I suppose. Nope. Don't need movies on the traps, thank you. They're fairly self-explanatory. Some of the game mechanics, such as the fear factor, aren't so much self-explanatory for new people, but the traps are. Pretty sure everyone knows what a wolf trap would be. On start night, blarg 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 blarg. This game also has RPG elements, I should mention. So that's a thing. Notice the game actually forces you to put less traps than would be required to actually kill everything. Thought I'd mention that. They do this so, you know, you have to actually fight things and you just stand there killing things with traps. You can kill everything with traps each night, but it's going to cost a lot, so... Oh yeah, and I can push tab. It'll pause the game. It'll tell you what wave you're on, tell you where all your traps are, and it'll tell you what is spawning for this wave, which is kind of nice. So right now, this wave will only be those 4 wolves. You can also see that at the top center, which is cool. I'm just gonna wait here. By the way, these are the wolf traps. In fact, I can stand here and watch. Yep, see? It's a bear trap. So they're dead. They've actually got much more, ow, fear than I have. I seriously don't know what to really call that. Much more fear? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever, it's what we've got, so... There we go. Huzzah! We get 6 cents for each wolf, 10 cents for each great wolf. I can't remember how much we get for... Also, this is a tutorial, so they're gonna pause waves for us to move around. That won't happen in the rest of the game. Can't remember what you get for other enemies, like werewolves and stuff like that. And this is where it tells you about shouts and their useful things.
Detection. Enemies can see and hear you. If an enemy gets too close to you, it will see you and attack. The circle around your hero on the minimap represents the sound he makes. When you move, you make more noise. An enemy will detect you if its dot on the minimap enters your circle. Certain actions like firing your rifle or shouting create a lot of noise. When an enemy hears you, a marker will appear at your feet. This marker represents the last place an enemy heard you. All enemies that heard you will go to this marker. If the enemy does not see or hear you again, He will leave the area after a short period of time, and the marker disappears. The dashed circle on your mini-map is the range of your shout. Use this ability to lure enemies under your traps.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, how shouting is useful. So you can see there over there, if we hit shout, just like in the video, we run away over here, pull out our gun, and get ready to shoot this. These are extremely useful traps because of this. It's quite good. Wait for them to get under. I think I missed one. I did miss one. Because I suck at the game. I'm just going to reload because we'll need to reload for later. And then I'll just hit this guy with an axe. Because why the heck not? There. Sort that out the old-fashioned way, if you will. And now we need to move to our other hanging trap. I think it'll tell us to go to a waypoint again. But I'm already over here anyway, so... See? And now we've got a Chewbacca-esque werewolf. Now the only way into here is from the direction I just ran from, for now. May as well just shout now, actually, and then move. Each night a new path will open up, which means it gets more and more complicated trying to hold things away from your places, because there's more paths to them. For instance, right now there will be multiple ways into this area, there'll be multiple ways into that house area. It gets pretty complex. Now this hanging trap won't kill a werewolf. It will mostly kill it. Werewolves are fairly strong. He's gonna hit me. Oh, I wanted to finish reloading for no reasons. Werewolves are fairly strong against personal attacks. You can see he's resistant to it. But traps do some substantial damage to him, and they give you 30 cents a piece, which is nice. I should reload. Never mind, the night's done. Solved that problem, didn't we? You don't need to reload at the start of each night. Also, here's our end of night thing here. There's all the buildings we'd have to protect, and there's the RPG aspect. So we get experience for each night. I've noticed you tend to level up once each night, so I don't know if that's true, but that seems to be what occurs. Also, there's Grand Wolf. Hooray!